Good afternoon, hello. This is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. My name is Daniel, and today I'm here with Dan from UK Bike Fit. Good afternoon, Dan.
Good afternoon.
Cheers, thanks for the imaginary coffee.
You're not supposed to do that. You're letting them behind the curtain.
Anyway,
ruined.
Start again. That's the theme of today's video. Now, on this channel, I share the good, the bad, and the ugly, what goes on that goes well, sometimes training, and what goes on and doesn't go well. And that's the sort of the premise of today's video, Dan. I recently launched what I thought was going to be a success, and it wasn't. And rather than me just having my own ramble to a camera where I talk about it, I wanted to come and speak to you today as an experienced businessman, bike rider in the sporting world, tell you a bit about what didn't go to plan and basically get your thoughts and advice. And I know people watching this will have their own thoughts and advice as well, which I'm really grateful for. So please don't be nasty, but I welcome your thoughts down below. But
also be nasty.
Yeah. Shall I give you a brief overview as to where I'm coming from?
Yeah. Tell us the story.
3 years ago, I launched a group winter training plan, and I had a Facebook group. I pitched it on the YouTube channel. I had about 25 people sign up, about £125 a person. I really enjoyed it. From what I gather, the people really enjoyed it. Since then, I didn't redo it because I was trying to focus on my own training. I'm sure you can agree that's time well spent. And this year I thought, right, I want to try and progress my channel, try and make YouTube a bit more of a thing, connect to the audience more, have more of a positive impact on the people that watch the videos. And I'd previously taken part in that sort of format of training plan as just as a participant. So I thought, right, I'm going to bring that format back, but take it up a notch, partner with somebody who I researched and found out in the triathlon world, and launch a product through the channel. And if I'm honest, I thought it was going to have some success. I didn't expect it to have like millions of sign-ups, but I did think I'd get some. And long story short, I didn't get any. So I guess I'm a little bit still like licking my wounds and a little bit upset about it. But I want to try and reflect on what it was and what didn't go well, get your input, and then try and figure out what I do going forward, because it is still a thought of mine. I want to do something like that in future. So I'll give you a brief overview, and people watching this video might have seen me talking about it. It was called the Support Crew, and that's what I named it. So
yeah.
I guess feel free to fire away. But
so obviously, I started this business, UK Bike Fit, around 2019. So what's that now? We'll be going into like 7 years next year. So and then it started off as one thing and then built other things onto it. So we've tried like lots of different stuff, some of which has gone really well, some of which hasn't gone as well. And I've had like some good people around me as well who I've been able to like ask about these sorts of things and say, what should I do here? This hasn't worked. What do I do next? Kind of thing. And I feel like I've sort of been through that and sort of figured it out as I've gone along. So yeah. I think, like you said, so this is the second time you've done it. This is the first time you did it was exactly the same product.
Well, I don't think it was anywhere near as good. The training itself, I partnered with a different coach to do it because I'm not a coach myself. So I got somebody, some credibility to write the plan and to help me deliver it. So that I'd say was similar. Although it was a different person. I'm not going to say one coach is better than another or anything like that. Of course, I'd taken feedback from the last time, people saying what sort of sessions they didn't enjoy. But I'd taken the social platform up a notch and made like a bespoke social platform for it. Whereas previously it was just a Facebook group. But it was hard to pitch that because it was just a concept. It hadn't actually, nobody had used it yet. So.
Yeah. So the first time you did it, what was the main thing? Or let's go from the start. Like, what sort of questions did you ask the people who did the course afterwards to get some feedback and to see what worked and what didn't?
Yeah, so it wasn't a formal survey, and I didn't send out like a Survey Monkey email thing. It was just a case of ad hoc talking to people who were
people had mentioned stuff.
Yes, yeah. So I think if anything, I did perhaps get the positive feedback rather than any of the constructive feedback there might have been. Yeah. But the things I took away from that were that people really valued the group accountability. So it's not like, Dan, you better do your training today, but it's like, oh, Dan, I did those 5 by 5 minutes earlier. They were hell. How did you get on? And well, if I don't do the 5 by 5 minutes, I'm not going to be able to talk about how I got on. So it gets you on the bike. People really valued that, as well as having some structure, but not being told what to do. And then the costing was a factor as well. The fact that it was significantly cheaper than a one-to-one coach was a positive. So those things I tried to take forward into the new one.
Yeah, so the product was the same. I mean, one of the things that I've found is that it's not necessarily like, this is for me talking about what we've done anyway in my personal experiences, but it's not necessarily like the product or how good it is. Like you said, you think the last product was not as good as the one you've just launched now. yet it got all these sign-ups and this one hasn't. But it's normally, for our sort of stuff that we're advertising, it normally comes down to the marketing and how you market it and how you advertise it. And you said you didn't do any sort of specific marketing for the second one, but what about the first one? Did you do anything extra?
No, so I mean, I say I didn't do any specific marketing. I guess, you know, the people that watch these videos, I'm talking about what I'm planning in the lead up. So I see that as that's the funnel. I'm like talking about what's coming, and then eventually it launches. That's what I did the previous time. Of course, it worked. I don't have whereas you have customers and you get their names and email addresses and so on. I don't have that. My only way of reaching these people is through the videos.
Yeah.
So I did think about having like register your interest, having a landing page, but it was just a step above my own ability, and I didn't know exactly how to do it. So I didn't do that. I just plugged it often in videos in the lead up, and then continued to talk about it. And the videos were doing, getting some views as normal.
But you had less subscribers back then.
Oh yeah, I think I had about 3,000 subscribers back then, and my videos are probably doing 400 or 500 views, and now we're like 11.5k, and videos will do 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 views. Yeah. So in my mind, I thought there'll be 15 to 20 people ish. I think.
Clearly. So then the only thing, like, what's the difference of the two services then? Because obviously the price.
Yeah. So the price is more. So this year's I've put up for $199. So still 12 weeks, still the same offer in the training plan. There's a framework and weekly Zwift group rides. But it's £199, and that's something that myself and Tom, who I partnered with to do it, spoke about at length, because I wanted to make it as cheap as possible, but he really counselled me in the fact that you've got to believe in what you think your product is worth, and you almost devalue it by making some things too cheap, and you want people to buy into it. And 3 months was at £65 or £67.50 a month for 3 months. He said it's good value for a thing you're going to put time into, and the plan's been written and all of that. So the cost is definitely a factor though, because that's the only real feedback I've had from why people haven't signed up, is that it's a lot of money. But I think in 3 years, how much more expensive has everything got?
There's no doubt it's still, and normally it's not the cost that's the problem. There's normally like some other underlying thing, whether people don't see the value in it, and then again that comes down to the marketing, because you're not showing the value.
Well, I remember I got one comment, and I replied to it properly. Somebody said something like 200 quid for a generic plan I can get off the internet and a fancy WhatsApp group, sign me up, or something like that. And I read it and I first thought, oh no, there's loads better than that. But I just thought, that's what it comes across like if you look at it one way, doesn't it? So whether that's how it's been.
And so and if it is way more than that, which it obviously is, because you're getting all this community support, and that's what you're basically developing, isn't it? Like you're trying to create a community of people who all want to train, who all have they're all very like-minded, and they all got similar sort of goals and similar sort of problems, and then you can share those, and then that's the value in the product, isn't it? Whereas if you break it down and just look at, if someone's looking at it from just a training plan point of view, then you look at it and think, well, that is expensive, but actually you're building something a bit more than that, and that's where the value is. So from a marketing point of view, I'd have gone all in on the community stuff, which I don't know, maybe you did that better the first time round than the second time, maybe not. But it's definitely trying to show the value in something is important when 200 quid is a substantial amount of cash. It's not like a tenner. It's I'll try it for a tenner kind of thing. You've got to properly believe in the thing and know that it's going to be something that you like before you pay the money. Same for bike fits. It's an expensive thing. You're swapping someone's time for money. It's always going to be some sort of cost to that. And our job, from a marketing point of view, is to show people what the value is, what problem can we solve for them. And that's normally where we take things in marketing, is asking people, or finding out what people's main issues are, addressing it up front, and then trying to show them, here's how we can help you. If your issue is getting back to your group rides with your mates because you're not riding as much because it's painful, then we'll show you how we can get you there. And then all of a sudden that money becomes easier to part with, because you're that's what I'm going to get.
Well, the tagline that I'd gone with it was called the support crew. And the reason I called it the support crew was because when you go to specifically triathlons, but you know what it's like at bike races and so on, it's not just you that gets you to the start line, is it? It's your family supporting you, it's people there on the day. At triathlons, we have aid stations where you're tipping water on yourself and stuff. I saw the group as being that sort of format. Obviously they're not doing that, but they're getting you to the start line. And I guess I wanted to, the tagline that I then used was, your most consistent winter yet, because I know that what gets me in good shape for spring is just training consistently. And the plan that we put together, none of it was super fancy, none of it was like, oh, do all these really complicated intervals. Some of it was actually quite boring and predictable training, but I know that doing that consistently will get you in good shape. So I tagged that as because I don't want to sell, increase your FTP by 20 watts guaranteed or something like that. But then I see other plans doing really well who are saying, this is the FTP builder, that's what this is. Whereas I actually couldn't care less about FTP progress in 12 weeks. We want to get a good base there. And I wonder if perhaps I've missed a trick by not being a bit more, I don't know, like a bit more gimmicky in that, I don't know, increase your aerobic efficiency by whatever.
I don't know, like, and so this is going to lead on to another point, but I think you're on the right lines personally. That's how I would do it, is people don't really, over winter, people don't want to increase their FTP. They want to be consistent. They want to not miss sessions because of the weather. They want to not get ill. They want to make sure their time on the bike is maximised. Like, that is the main things that people want. The FTP increasing is like a byproduct of all of that.
Yeah.
So I think you've hit the nail on the head with that sort of stuff. But then when we've done things in the past that perhaps haven't worked as well as I'd have liked, when I look back, I think, maybe that's something that I would want, but actually not what our customers would want.
Yeah.
And I'm building a product or a service that is for me when I'm not the target market of this product or service. And I've definitely been guilty of that in the past, and it's taken me a few goes to realise that and think, okay, well, I need to start, even if it's not something I would be interested in, I need to direct my services and marketing towards the people that are our target market. And I don't know, maybe it's something like that. Maybe we're not the target for that service that you've just tried to develop.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that because, as I said earlier, I've done this sort of thing as a participant in the past. So I feel like, yes, this works for me. It's going to work for other people. But that's a genuine belief, and I've seen it work for other people. And I guess I have no data to support this, but I had this feeling and this hunch through people I was talking to that there is a large proportion of people who do the sport of triathlon and cycling who, whether they just can't or don't want to, don't have a coach. And they don't want to coach or can't pay for a one-to-one coach. So I feel like there's people who perhaps would pay some money to have some guidance. Maybe they're really experienced and they don't need a coach, or maybe they aren't experienced at all and think, similar to how people might look at a bike thing and go, well, that's a lot of money for what they're going to do, just change my seat height.
Yeah.
And it's hard to convince them that it is good value, but I saw it as hopefully enticing enough that people would give it a go if they were in that camp. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe there is especially in triathlon, I suppose, are we just more affluent athletes that if they're going to be coached, they're going to have one-to-one coach. They're not in this halfway bracket.
Yeah.
It's more of a cycling thing, I don't know.
So that was going to be my main piece of, what do we do next kind of thing, main piece of action. The first thing I would do now is, maybe you can do this on YouTube, set up a Google form or whatever, do a video saying, this didn't work, and I want your feedback. And literally ask people, why didn't you sign up?
There'll be one in the description down below that holds me accountable to it. There'll be a form. Please do fill it out. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts.
Put all your questions on there that you want answering, like that. Are you a triathlete? Yes. What distances do you do? What's your age? What's your gender? What are your training preferences? What do you like about training? What don't you like about training? What do you like about triathlon coaches? What don't you like? And then, here's the service that we proposed. Why did you not sign up? And just see what people write. Yeah. And see what the main problem was. Whether it was, if everyone comes back and says it's too expensive, then you're like, okay, well, people aren't prepared to pay that amount of money. But if everyone comes back and says, actually, it wasn't the price, it was, I don't know, I can't commit to 12 weeks, it's too long. Or, you'll get an idea as to what people want. And then you can run it again and eliminate all those problems, and hopefully it's more successful. We've done that before, where we've put out a service and it's not been taken up as well, and we've literally emailed people and said, why are you not signing up to this? Why are you not doing this service? I
remember seeing one of those. You make a 1 or 2 buttons, so you get a good response rate.
Yeah. The response rate is normally half the problem.
Yeah.
If you are watching, fill out the form. But if you can get a decent response rate, you'll get a good sample as to the people that you're targeting and what their problems were and why they didn't sign up, and then you can do it again. And again, we did that, ran the same service again, and it worked. So it does work. And then I would also do another one before saying like, we're going to launch this. What do you want to see? What price range do you think this should be at? What don't you like about sessions? What sort of sessions do you want in there? And get some feedback again. So then just before you build it, you've got some more feedback about what people actually want.
One bit of feedback I did get from people was that, it'd be nice to have seen some strength, like guidance in there. And I was thought, well, like, how much do you expect for a basic winter plan? But if that's what people are looking for in their winter guidance, we see it in cycling world all the time. People do strength work in the winter. Perhaps that's something I've got to take on board. I think understanding the audience, great point. I definitely need to do more of that.
It's harder when it's easier for us because we do have a mailing list and we do have people who we've seen and talked to, like customers. We've got lots of data about our customers already. But when you are doing it through YouTube, you haven't got that.
Yeah.
So it's easier for us to do that. But I think Google Forms.
I must get 1 or 2 a month emails asking me if I do one-to-one coaching, and whether those people would actually go through it or not, I don't know. So I do almost think I'd seen that and I thought, I don't currently have any coach qualifications, and it's not that I don't want to be a coach, but my current life means I don't really have time, or I don't prioritise time to be a one-to-one coach. This is something I thought I could benefit more people through the same amount of time that I'd spend coaching, 2 or 3 individuals. Yeah. But that's what got me thinking, okay, maybe I don't do any sort of group thing. Maybe I just become a one-to-one coach, and when people inquire, then that's my pipeline. The other thing that I have done is, and the only barrier to entry is having an indoor training set up and having Zwift, but I ran like weekly Zwift rides last winter and the winter before. And last winter when Zwift clubs were a thing, I created a TriathlonDan Zwift club, and we had Monday night just easy spins for an hour. And I think I've got something like 500 and something members in the club. I know there's no barrier to it, so people just click the button. But we were getting some nights 50 people on a group ride, and that's what made me think, wow. And people were saying that's got me on the bike tonight, that's the way to do it. And I'm like, that's great, but I can't continue to do everything in my life for free. Because at some point something has to, I understand having a lost leader and so on, but I have to prioritise my time somewhere, because that hour on my group ride, I could have ridden earlier if I was on my own schedule, and I could be making a video or something like that. So but then I like doing it. So it's like...
That's sort of similar to what I was going to suggest as well, because I think these community type things, you almost need to create the community for free and get all these people in that thing that was going to be a community builder. Circle, was it called?
Yeah,
Circle.
It's just a platform.
Get everyone in there free, maybe do some free Zwift rides and stuff, and then say, right, we're going to continue this for the next 12 weeks with a plan. Here's the money. Because then you've already got people in some sort of habit, and they can see what they're getting to some extent. They've had a taste of that community in those Zwift rides. And getting people into that sort of weekly habit, and then saying, right, okay, well, we can't do this for free forever. So if you want to continue, here's how much it's going to cost. Maybe that community stuff needs the community first, and then you build that, and then you can monetize it. Yeah,
I had thought about that. My hesitation is that, and you know what it's like when you put your prices up, it's difficult for people to take sometimes. Some customers won't like it. I think it'd be hard to go from something that is free to then something that is paid, but then, like you say, you can't do it for free forever. So that'd put me off of doing that. But perhaps that's something clearly nobody's signed up any other way. So
yeah, I think it's a good way of showing value. Like I say, I think anything that costs money, you need to show the value. But then also maybe you continue the free sessions, but they're like once a fortnight, and then you're still doing 3 a week for all the paid ones.
It's not that I'm like, oh, I'm too good to spend time doing that, or I don't want to. It's just literally the time to be able to do it.
That's it, yeah. And it's difficult as well when you've got a full-time job, and this is your free time that you're putting into it. But it's one way to start it anyway. But again, maybe that's not the issue. If you literally ask people, why did you not buy the plan, then they'll probably tell you why, and you'll see some like common patterns and themes come out.
So we've got to understand the audience and understand the market, and feedback from understanding the market, sharing the value in the product that you're offering, and that, because from the last one I had some quotes from people about game FTP this or what, I can't find them, not reached out to people who were on it, so I didn't use any of those. And because I saw it as a completely different product, I thought I'm not going to try and sell people on quotes that people have said from something 3 years ago. I'm just going to start afresh, so perhaps I need to revisit some of that. You mentioned earlier about people around you have given you guidance. Just talk me through what's your networking? How do you go and meet these people, the people you just come across? I guess this is what I'm using you for now, but if I was to do that sort of thing, who should I be connecting with? What sort of person should I be looking for? That sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, the people that I speak to about this sort of stuff are business people that I've met through cycling and through work.
So they're like in other industries, but in business.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and I think that's good as well to like speak to people in other industries, because this isn't a cycling industry specific problem. This is just a sales problem basically, and how you sell something is how you sell anything. Like it's exactly the same sort of parameters that you need and focus that you need to sort of sell whatever it is. So yeah, I've spoken to people and friends and connections that have been really successful in business, and then I can go to them and just say, oh, this has cropped up, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? And then they're happy to do that normally. So I think talking to people is the best way to like find out other ways of maneuvering, like you're doing now, maneuvering around like certain problems, because and I still go back to these people regularly, like probably every other week I'm talking to them about something. So
yeah, I guess for me it's not like I'm just trying to sell a mug and it's gone. I want people to buy into a journey and me be able to actually positively impact their lives in training and racing. So it feels like I'm not just trying to get, it's not a revenue, it's not how can I make money, it's how can it be worthwhile doing financially so I can continue to do it, because at some point Liz will say to me, stop spending every night in the garage when you should be spending time with me, or whatever. So
yeah. I mean, I think with this sort of thing, like you either want it to make money or you don't.
Yeah.
If you and obviously like we've said, it's time for money, you need it to make money. Like no one else out there would work for free. That's not how the world works. So you need it to make money for you to motivate yourself to do it. And like you've said before, I think openly that you would like to use YouTube and triathlon as some sort of like money generating thing, as like some sort of job. Part-time or otherwise. I
mean, similar to how you've done with your business, you diversified into different areas. So you do bike fitting, you do lactating VO2, you now have a bike shop. Like there's other like revenue streams. With what I do, I run YouTube as a break-even exercise, but the higher that break-even number is, the more cool stuff I can do, and the more videos I can make about it, and therefore hopefully the more the channel grows. So at the minute you've got YouTube like ad revenue, and that's some money, and then you've got sponsors, that's some money, and then I've got Patreon that some people like subscribe to, that's some money. I wanted another one that I control, because like I have partners on this channel and they're all great, but at any point they could either pull out or their businesses could stop doing as well, and that could disappear, and that's not really within my control. Whereas the other bit, it's like ad revenue to an extent is within my control, putting out good videos that get views. And this other one I saw was right, something else within my control. So if you have another pandemic or I don't know, something happens, I can still do what I want to do with this channel. That's the only reason I saw it as, something, another strands to that.
I wouldn't be shy about wanting it to make money either. Because also, like the people that will really, really enjoy this, you're going to help them achieve their goals, and that's worth something to them.
And that's the other thing. It's not like, and you get this with your customers, right? They're not just customers. You're helping them prepare for an event or their general comfort on a bike. I go to events and I see these people who have like watched the videos or done something I've said to do or something, and you will see people who you fitted out at events and so on, and you feel like actually connected to it, don't you? So that's what I want to feel like.
People who do races and stuff, like emotionally connected to their results and how they do and stuff. Well,
I've seen some of the messages you've got, and I occasionally get messages people have said that the videos have really helped in their lead up to an event, and you feel like you're part of their journey, and that's what I want to be more of, and I guess you do the same.
Yeah, but that's worth something as well. So I think from a business point of view, I think it needs to make you money. So like you say, you can put more back into it and improve what you're offering, and then that's going to help more people, and it'll just grow like that. Yeah,
it was difficult to decide the price point, and I said earlier about Tom saying what's the value, but because it's like a scalable thing. Okay, 50 people signed up. Yeah, we could have made it cheaper, but we had to work on a number where we thought, right, this is, and because Tom's a qualified experienced coach, coaches full-time himself. Like I can't underpay him because his time is worth something. So I was splitting the revenue with him as it was. So it was like 20 was like our break-even point, really.
Yeah.
So,
and like I say, I think if you get lots of feedback and no one mentions the price, the price is not the problem. It probably was too cheap. Ideally, you want some people mentioning it, but maybe they just wanted more. Maybe they wanted like an individualized program rather than a generic program, and they would have actually paid another £100 for that. So I think getting that feedback from what people saw in the product that they didn't like, or was the reason why they didn't sign up, is the one big question you probably need to ask, and then see what they say.
I did a video a while ago now with We Buy Cycle in Derby. They had a bike in that they'd had for ages. It was a BMC time machine or road machine, whatever their aero road bike is. And they'd had it in stock for ages. And I just did a video about, this has been here for ages, why isn't it selling? You know, viewers, tell me why you wouldn't buy this bike. And the overwhelming response was it's just too much money. And then they dropped it, We Buy Cycle dropped it like 200 quid, and it was about a £3,000 bike, and it sold straight away. And you're like, that's like, yeah, the spec's good, it's a good bike, but it's just a little bit too much money. That was all they needed to do to get rid of it. But
whereas if the feedback had been like, oh, the wheels aren't good enough, they'd have swapped the wheels out and sold it for the same. Yeah, it's the feedback that's the important bit.
Because you don't know what a customer's thinking who's not become your customer, do you? They just looked at it and then scrolled off.
Yeah, they're not going to email you saying, "I'll just let you know, I've browsed this bike, but I've not bought it because it's £200 too expensive." Then you're not here unless you ask.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else you think I should be thinking about or doing with that sort of thing in mind?
No, I would literally get some feedback, see what the main issues were and what the barriers were to people signing up, and then do it again. I would 100% do it again. I wouldn't let it put you off.
Yeah, I was thinking the new year is a good time of year. People obviously commit to New Year's resolutions. As bad as everybody else. We're thinking about doing something else from the new year, but I want it to be different. I don't want to just try the same thing, but then perhaps if it's marketed differently, it could be a similar product. But I don't want to get too wedded to the thing. I want to try and, as you say, get feedback and then go back out with something else.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, thank you very much for your time and your advice. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys and girls watching appreciate this sort of format. I know it's not a clickbaity, super interesting video, but I want to lift the veil on behind the scenes of this sort of thing, just so you can see what goes into these sorts of decisions, and the fact that it ain't as easy as some people make out. So.
No. It's good to talk about the stuff that doesn't work, because especially on YouTube and social media, everyone talks about everything that goes really well.
Yeah.
No one hears about the stuff that doesn't go so well. So I think,
and in the grand scheme of things not going well, this it's not a disaster. I've not bought something really expensive to try and resell, and I've stuck with it. It's just a.
And how many like motivational quotes have you seen where all these top business people talk about the failures, and they learn more from the failures, and they've like 90% of everything they've done has failed and 10% succeeded. Like, failure isn't like. It's not a failure. It's just as long as you learn from it and ask the questions.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought the worst thing would be if I just give up on it now and go, okay, I'll move on and do something else. I need to.
But then you've not gained anything. Whereas you could gain some really important information from asking people what the problem was.
Okay. Dan, thanks so much.
Sweet.
See you later.